I've had the opportunity to come up here and talk after winning championships and things of that nature. And now I have the opportunity to come up and talk about Mike Sadler. The first thing I want to say is, Karen, David, Katie, thank you for asking me. It's an honor to be up here. Speakers have done an unbelievable job talking about Mike, all that he represents, he still represents. You know, a guy, my brother gave me a book this summer, and it was just called The Dash. The Dash. And what it meant is the time you were born, the time you passed, what you had accomplished in that dash. And you can now see that, really, Nikki, as your daughter said, that all that he had accomplished was so much. And he was really quite a very, very special person. Sam Foltz, his funeral was yesterday in Grand Island, Nebraska. Coach Riley called me and wanted me to make sure that I told everyone here, Karen, family, how sorry he was. And I think we're sort of hooked with Nebraska, I think, to the hip for a while because of the special people there. Jim Delaney sent a letter. Mike was a guy that really was a part of life, really, for college football. Heard all the things they were talking about. Jim Delaney says, "It is with my deepest sympathy that I write to express my sorrow for the untimely loss of your son, Mike. From all accounts, Mike was an outstanding son, friend, teammate, which clearly echoes in all the comments that have been made by so many individuals who were impacted by his life. His time at Michigan State was the true embodiment of what it means to be a student participating in intercollegiate athletics. Success in the classroom, impact in the community, and achievement on the playing field. Put together such an impressive resume as a Spartan, including when he helped lead the team to victory in the 2014 Rose Bowl game, and earned recognition as the first student in MSU history to be named a 4-time academic All-American. On behalf of the Big Ten, I join the entire Michigan State community in thanking Mike for the enduring contributions that he made during this time with us. Our thoughts and prayers are with you as you continue to seek solace during this incredibly difficult time." You know, I think I stand in front of our football team all the time and say that everybody's got a story. Everybody here has a story. Everyone. Mike's story was very, very special. I said earlier in the week, he was a giver. He was truly a light for our players, for everybody who really knew him, for his teammates. Seeing so many people come so far to be a part of today is overwhelming. For his staff and their families and their children and their wives, we're all touched by Mike in a different way. Every one of them were touched in a different way. And the Narduzzi family is here from Pittsburgh today. And they were very, very special as well. I remember the first day, Karen, that I met you. You were sitting right over there on that bench. Mike was kicking right down here. And, you know, he was the third-ranked kicker in America, third-ranked punter in America coming out of high school. And he was kicking down there, and he was doing okay as a kicker. He's doing okay. Might be a good holder someday. But he was doing all right. And then he turned around and started punting. And that ball was popping off his foot. I looked at Karen, and I said, he's got a scholarship to Michigan State. And I told my wife, and it's sort of ironic, we were coming down from up north this morning, and we stopped at a McDonald's. And as you know, David, Mike called me when we were coming back from the Big Ten Media Day, and I was at a McDonald's. Don't get there often, not looking to advertise. But he called me and told me he was coming to Michigan State. I looked at Becky and said, we've solidified our punting situation for the next 5 years, and we have one special person coming. One special person. I look and I like Connor, really throughout the entire week, it just sort of numbs you. You just found yourself just sort of reflecting on times, reflecting on a lot of different things that have happened over the course of time here with Mike, and about how sudden the loss is. And I just wrote down some words that, again, like everybody else, that came to my mind when I thought about Mike Sadler. Some have been noted already, some have not been. Patient. Patient. Third-ranked punter in the nation. Came here and sat for his first year in redshirt behind Aaron Bates. Never said a word about it. Not once. Prepared for his time, punting 4 straight years for us. Competitive. That guy competed. I don't know how many of you recognize this fact, but when you're the head coach and you see all these people sitting here looking at you and you call a fake punt, it takes some nerve. And I would always ask Mike, where are you at with this? And he always looked at me, said, got it. He was a kicker. He was a kicker at Forest Hills North. When he came here, he was asked to become the holder. He had never held before. He mastered that art. He steadied the nerves of Dan Conroy when he first became the kicker. He did that with Michael Geiger, 2013, when he first became our kicker. And he was as consistent as you can believe, but he was a competitor. He competed in the classroom. He competed off the field as well, as our players know, and as he would always sit and talk to us. There's so many different stories about Mike. He was confident. You could see it in his eyes when he walked up. He was all about business on the football field. He was all about business. But it was at practice, believe it or not, maybe even in the meeting room when he was playing euchre. Not to my knowledge. But he was about business. He was about becoming the best at whatever he tried to do. Tough. Tough. I don't know how many times a punter runs down and makes tackles, but he relished that fact. Form wasn't the greatest, but he ran through people when he had the opportunity. When he had the opportunity to run through somebody with the ball, which I guess occurred 3 times in 4 years, he did that as well. But he was tough, tough-minded, very tough. Intelligent, goes without saying. 3.97. I guess that would mean he maybe got an A- or a B once. Used a lot of big words for me too, Quiz. Insightful, reflective. We meet with our players once a year. I meet with their players individually and listen to their goals and talk about them. His goal card was always completely filled out. He had a plan, and he wasn't afraid to share his plan with people, but he was very reflective in terms of what he was thinking about and how things were going for him, and then basically how you were doing things a little bit too. He always was going to let me know. I was under the microscope as well when we sat down there a little bit. Kind. He was a very, very kind person. He took his time with people. I think all of our teammates can acknowledge that. Very, very kind person. Taking his time with our coaches' kids. And, he impacted others. He impacted so many people. You look behind me here, and these are the trophies, basically, that he helped win. And many times, I guess people say that, that time period of him punting the ball and doing the different things, not just punting, but leading, impacting others in so many different ways, had an impact on our success here as well. We talked about his academics. People talk about All-Americans, how hard it is to become an All-American. He was the first team All-American twice. First team All-Big Ten twice, which maybe even is more difficult in some respects. 2013, he led the nation in punts inside the 10 with 24. Second in the nation with 33 punts inside the 20 total. No one ever scored versus MSU when he put the ball inside the 10. No one ever scored. 2013. 42.2 career average. Ray Guy semifinalist. Second all-time leader in punts and yards. He wanted me to mention again he was a holder and he ran and tackled. Pet the cat. And then he accomplished so much more academically. He was the first, he's an All-American 4 times, but he was the first team All-American and the second team All-American. I very rarely wear this ring, very rarely, because I always look forward. But I thought it was important. To wear this today. I guess I'm constantly standing up there in front of our players and talking about different stuff as you do as a head coach. You're not defined, I guess, hopefully by how many games we win, but maybe more by what we do. But the definition of class, I'll leave you with this. I think this epitomizes Mike. Class never runs scared. Class never makes excuses. Class is considerate of others. And this is Mike. Class can walk with kings. Keep its virtue. And with crowds, keep the common touch. Everyone is comfortable with a person who has class as he is comfortable with himself. When you have class, you don't need much of anything else. If you don't have it, whatever else you have really doesn't make that big a difference. Thanks so much, Go Green.